Speaking of a program that missed a bowl for the first time in forever a year ago, Wisconsin Bear, the roster does not look much improved from a year ago. Obviously, they've changed offensive coordinators after the Longo experiment didn't work. But look, that seat's going to get hot for Fickle if it doesn't get better this year at Madison. Win total's 5.5 on the Badgers here.
Yeah, I'm under on Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know how you Billy Edwards Jr. from Maryland goes there and as the quarterback. And Maryland was one of the few teams in the Big Ten that were worse than Wisconsin was last year. So, I don't know how much of an upgrade that's going to be a quarterback. Obviously, Tyler Van Dyke getting hurt last year probably hurt that offense, but it was never going to work with a Longo air raid type offense in Madison. It's just not the DNA of that program. They need to go back to just winning at the line of scrimmage, Heisman caliber running backs, and do it that way. I mean, because I think maybe a lot of times, when a lot of people zig one way in the favor of these high-powered offense, maybe zagging with the program that's used to doing that is the way to go. But recruiting has slipped. They're negative right now in the portal, I think, with what they brought in and what they lost, especially with the DB going to Miami. They're all up in arms about that and wanting to sue him and sue the school. So we'll see what happens there. But you've got the return trip to Alabama. You go to Michigan. You've got Oregon, Indiana, Minnesota. Ohio State and Washington come to Madison. Iowa comes to Madison. If you look at that schedule, there's a really good chance that they're 3-5 entering that idle week. And that would be a very, very uneasy November for Luke Fickell and that staff. But I don't know where 6 wins are coming from. Again, I know it's funny because we always talk about with win totals, breaking down the schedule and going through it. And that's how we think, the schedule, that's why they're not going to win 16. The odds makers aren't stupid either. They have the same schedule we have in terms of figuring out a number. So you can't necessarily always base it on just the schedule, but I think the personnel and the schedule here and the trajectory of this program indicates under on the Badgers.
Bear, I'm just going through it. I think 3-5 should be what the expectation is through those first 8 games. I mean, that month of October is insane.
Yeah.
At Ann Arbor, Iowa, Ohio State, and Delaware. I mean, you can be depending on what Iowa is at that point, you're going to be a favorite in most in one of those games, and probably not a favorite against Iowa.
Yeah, and I think. You mentioned Iowa, too. I think it's pretty clear after the 1 year here of the expanded Big Ten, who the biggest loser is in the loss of the Leaders and Legends divisions and being able to win that division and boost your record every year. I think Wisconsin is a clear loser in the expansion of that league.
Yeah, them, Northwestern, those teams that were out west that were consistent for a time definitely did not do well with the expansion in the Big Ten. We go to the Big 12 next. There's a lot of noise about the team out of Lubbock and Texas Tech here, Bear. And look, after last year, and honestly, what the Big 12 is going to be, it is going to be a topsy-turvy league for this current existence. It could be one team that comes out of nowhere. It could be 2 teams that come out of nowhere and play at the Jerry Dome in December. Texas Tech, one of the favorites to get there. Their win total's 8.5 here, Bear, at most shops.